Hey everyone, while I'm at camp I want to show you guys my setup. I started last year using a hammock instead of just a regular tent, even for even just camping, you know, out of the truck. I just think it's super comfortable, really easy to set up, and it's just really dependable to me. It works great for me and I think it's comfortable. So I'll just walk you guys through it and show you what I got. So as a shelter, it's a A-frame shelter. It's a ENO HouseFly. And the really neat thing about this is it obviously can be used over as a shelter over a hammock, but you could also use it as a bottomless shelter. And you could obviously attach it like it is now to between some trees, or you could use your two trekking poles, one on each end. So really cool. I haven't used it for that yet. I mainly just use it for my hammock setup. This particular shelter, it actually has overlapping doors, and because of the lines for the hammock, there's no zipper on them because you can zip it all the way up, but you could overlap them, and they work really good. But so let me show you inside really quick. Whoops. Let me show you inside really quick. So here's my hammock. It's a ENO 2-person hammock. I really like the ENO hammocks because they have a little stretch to them, and I just think they're a lot more comfortable than some of the other ones out there. And then the 2-person one just gives you a lot of room inside. And this particular one is the Appalachian Trail. They have a couple different ones where the color scheme and all that is follow like certain national parks around the country. So I have this particular one, and new for me this year, I got a new sleeping bag where it's actually like a cocoon, and the hammock goes through the sleeping bag, and then it goes through the hood here. There's a little void under here, and the hammock comes out and you attach it. And I highly recommend, if you have this tent, which by the way, it's a hike and bike. I'm sorry, not tent, the sleeping bag. It's a hike and bike sleeping bag, and this particular one is a 0 degree. And it works really good. I've actually used it. I used it last weekend when it got down to 34 degrees, and that thing did great. It did awesome. I didn't have any long johns on or anything like that. And towards the morning, my butt got a little bit cold, but nothing crazy. I mean, if it was bad enough, I would have gotten out and put some long johns on. So, but yesterday or last night, it probably got down to like maybe low 40s, and I was actually kind of hot. But it's really great because if some of you guys have tried sleeping in a hammock when it gets cold outside, any breeze or anything like that goes right through the fabric of the hammock, and it really gets down to your bones, and you get cold in a hurry. As you guys know, it doesn't matter how good of a sleeping bag you have, but when you're laying down on it and you compress that loft down to hardly anything because of your body weight, the rating of the sleeping bag is pretty much gone. So that's what's neat about this, because it's like a cocoon, and the padding and all the fill of the sleeping bag never gets compressed. So it really works really well. Last year I didn't have that particular sleeping bag, so what I did was I would put a pretty deflated sleeping pad inside the hammock, and then I would use a regular sleeping bag, and it worked pretty good. But I tell you what, throughout the night as you're moving and sleeping and kind of readjusting, that pad would kind of shift on you and pop out from the hammock, and it just, you could immediately, I was able to tell that pad slipped because I would get cold right away. So far so good with the Hyke and bike setup. I highly recommend it. Check them out. Hikeandbike.com. And I actually got mine from just Amazon, but there's a couple YouTube videos out there, and you guys should check it out. And yeah, thumbs up on ENO. Their hammock setups are incredible, and this shelter, HouseFly, ENO HouseFly, is pretty sweet. So that's my setup, guys.